Hello my viewers, if you're interested in buying a helmet like this, or maybe a life-size one, you can go over there and shop at greenguy.com. They have NCAA teams, they have NFL teams, they have all your favorite teams. They even have the teams that you don't like the Bengals, Browns, and Ravens. I don't know why anybody buy that, but they have that too if you want to buy it. So go over there and use my promo code PITSIN and go and shop some of your favorite football helmets now. Hello our viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. We're discussing, of course, some trade rumors. As you guys know, the Steelers are looking to add some pieces. And you know the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow. I still can go live, of course, today. I thought the trade deadline was yesterday when I mentioned on the screen, but actually it's tomorrow. So I'll be live tomorrow to discuss and have some reactions of any moves that's made, or if we don't make any moves. But right now, the Steelers did, of course, get Kyle Duggar. That was last week. He played, and he played a lot of snaps. I think he played the whole game basically like that. Yesterday at safety, him and Jalen Ramsey both playing safety, kind of playing two safeties over the top. And he did a good job, of course, keeping everything hemmed in, was solid, learned the playbook in like 2 days and going out there and playing, of course, and being ready. And he fit right in. And the Steelers won the game against the Colts. It was a big time win for the Steelers. And also, we got MVS added. The Steelers did drop Benny Bishop. I don't know why they never activated him for weeks. He was on the practice squad for weeks. He had 4 interceptions last year. He had of course, the 2 interceptions against our quarterback right now, Aaron Rodgers. He picked Aaron Rodgers off twice last year. Now one of them was Garrett Wilson dropping it and bouncing back to him, but still a pick. And he had an interception against the Bengals. He had an interception against the Bengals and somebody else. He had an interception against, and he had a sack too as well. And then he also had a few pass deflections. And I know he was the best, of course, in man coverage, but in the slot, he played solidly. They blitzed him in. He got a sack here and there, got some tackle for losses. He tackled well, and he's a rookie, so I feel like he could have developed more. But the Steelers, I guess, wanted a bigger style cornerback. I think he was like 5'9", 5'10", smaller cornerback, of course. And he got put in the practice squad. At one point like that for the Steelers, and the Steelers never brought him up, and now they kind of released him. I don't know how to release a DB. I feel like we need all the DBs we can get, because Darius Slay has not played at a good level at all this season. I think quarterbacks are averaging like 105 passer rating when Darius Slay is when they're targeting that side, Darius Slay is that, and Darius Slay guarding their guy like that. So yeah, they have a lot of success over there. So I'm hoping the Steelers make a move, which leads me to most of my trades. Some of my trades right here. One of the targets, Alontae Taylor. Alontae Taylor was a name that's circulating around a lot, because people think the Steelers might make a move and trade for Rashid Shaheed. You give Rashid Shaheed, that'd be nice, but Alontae Taylor would be nice too in the deal. I know they said the Saints were looking for a 3rd round pick, Rashid Shaheed. You might be able to try to find something where you can get Rashid Shaheed and Alontae Taylor. You add a cornerback on the other side of JPJ. JPJ is a good corner. You add somebody else on the other side of him, Alontae Taylor be there, and then you add another receiver to the receiver room would be nice, because right now you have, of course, MVS added to the practice squad. He'll probably be activated to the main roster eventually. So you have DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, MVS, Roman Reigns. I'm thinking of wrestling. Roman Wilson. I thought you have him all added to the roster. Ben Skoranek still be there as well. That'd be a solid core. But add Rashid Shaheed to the mix with Metcalf, Rashid Shaheed, MVS, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, and they're looking a little better, of course, as well. I think so. That could be a possibility. I hope the Steelers not being content with saying MVS is the guy we're going to get, because right now you're averaging 25, 26 points per game with the receivers you got. Imagine if you add another legit guy on the other side of that. That would actually help out a lot for the Steelers, I think. So Rashid Shaheed and Alontae Taylor, there should be some guys on your radar. I know people have Tariq Woolen as well like that. From the Seahawks, like that being a guy on our radar as well to possibly come over. We draft a corner, we could not draft him. Trade for a cornerback and bring him on the team as well on the other side of JPJ. That'd be nice too. So there's a few corners as well. I know I've seen, of course, I think somebody in the comment section before. I forgot who it was, but they mentioned trading for Sauce Gardner, bringing Sauce Gardner in like that. They said Sauce Gardner. I think they said Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. That would be a big mega type deal, because Garrett Wilson just got paid a big contract, and Sauce Gardner contract, he got paid till he won the highest pick. I think he is the highest paid cornerback, or one of the highest paid. And I know he's definitely top 3 up there. So that'd be a mega deal too as well. So you bring him in, it's probably gonna cost you some picks. Like they're gonna cost you 1st round pick, 2nd round pick, probably maybe 1st and 2 seconds or something like that. It'll be a mega deal. But in my opinion, I feel like the pick shouldn't be overvalued. That's why I feel like the Steelers, if you have opportunity to get Jalen Waddle, you make a move and get him like that. Jalen Waddle, asking price is definitely gonna start from the 1st round pick area. If you can get him for 1st round pick only, that'd be good. But most likely the Dolphins will want a little more, maybe a 1st and 2nd or 2 firsts. Whatever you gotta do. I think if you got to call and at least ask and see if they're willing to make something happen, because picks are just like overvalued sometimes. I know some fans look at the picks and be like, we need all the picks we can get. Now, if you're a team that's of course struggling, trying to rebuild and stuff, of course having all the picks you can get give you more chances to make the right decision. That'd be good. But a team that's like our team that make the playoffs the past 2 years and still trying to get over that hump a little bit, got a first round exit past 2 seasons. Well, actually, for the past like 5 or 6 times like that in the playoffs, like that, getting the first round exit, you trying to find a way to get over that hump and bring another guy in. A guy like Jalen Waddle, you know who he is. The draft picks you get. You can draft a guy, but you don't know exactly what that guy will become. It could be a Kenny Pickett. It can be a Jarvis Jones, because that happened before with the Steelers, of course, in their tenure. Like that. It could be one of those individuals. You never know. Like that. So you want to go out there and get a Jalen Waddle, who you know what he brings. He had 3,000-yard season to start his career off. He had 700 last year. He was playing with Tua, taking a little. Tua was injured a few times and came back a few times like that, so things kind of messed up. And this year he has like 548 yards, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He has more yards than any Steelers player have receiving yards right now, like that too, as well. So I think DK Metcalf is the highest. He had like 400 or something. He only had 6 catches yesterday to add to that total. I mean, six yards yesterday to add to that total. But I think Jalen Waddle has more than anybody in our receiving, like tight end or receivers on our team right now. So he played with Tua Tagovailoa. Now, no disrespect to Tua. Tua is all right, and of course as well, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. Imagine Jalen Waddle coming over here to this offense with Aaron Rodgers on the ball. We already averaging 25, 26 points per game right now as a team. Imagine if you bring in a Jalen Waddle, what we can do with the offense. DK Metcalf on one side, Jalen Waddle on one side, where teams have to be forced to see that. And that might help the run game out a lot more too as well, with Jalen Warren as well. You have targets everywhere. You have DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, you have Pat Frymuth in the middle, you have Darnell Washington as well, Jonnu Smith as well, Jalen Warren as well, like that. And the O-line has been playing some good football the past, actually since week 3. The O-line is playing some very good football as well. So I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be nice, of course, for the Steelers to go out there and look and try to bring in Jalen Waddle if they can bring him in. That'll be interesting. So hopefully they look into that, make a call for it. I doubt the Dolphins trade Jalen Waddle. You might can call him a little few times and say, hey, how much for Waddle, man? How much for Waddle? We trying to see. We just doing a talking basis. They be like, well, we at least want to start at the first. You're like, okay, but we want to get a lot back because we know he's a good player. He's a young player still in this league. So they might kind of negotiate a little bit just to see where they at. If it's something like 2 first-round picks, or if it's something like, they say, it could just be if it's just a first-round pick, that would be perfect. You'd be like, okay, you would make the call and then make the move immediately. But if it's like a first-round pick and a second, or a first-round pick and two first-round picks, hey, you might want to contemplate a little bit and think about, should I maximize this? We seen what the Rams did a few years back when they maximized and they traded and got Matthew Stafford and brought him in to the team. When they went out there and got, of course, Jalen Ramsey as well, Von Miller as well, and they won a Super Bowl. You see what the Eagles have done like that. They signed Barkley, but they also remember a few years back when they had the AJ Brown trade, bring him in, and they added different, you added the pieces, of course, around your team, and the team make a trade. And this year so far, they made Jared Alexander trade, Jalen Phillips as well. They traded for him, and they're not really scared of the picks. Like they're like saying, like the picks are cool to have, but it's like it's not guaranteed you're gonna get a star player because you have a high pick, of course. Now it might be a more likely chance of getting a star player, but look at the Bengals and Shamar Stewart. Remember, he helped to hold out all day long like that. He only got like 2 tackles this season. Jamar Chase got more tackles than him, and Jamar Chase played receiver like that, so he got more tackles than him. So sometimes you never know who you're gonna get like that in your first pick. So you gotta go out there and kind of see a little bit. So I think if Jalen Waddle's available, we know what Jalen Waddle is capable of. We know he can be a player to help us win now and also for the future, because it's like he's only 6 years old. So he turned 27, I think, in a few weeks. And receivers nowadays can play in their 30s like that, play in the midst of their 30s and stuff as well like that. So you have him in his prime years for the next 4, 5, 6 seasons like that, playing his prime level football like that. And you have him helping you win now and also in the future, because you don't know how long Aaron Rodgers is going to play. But whether Aaron Rodgers come back next year or not, whatever quarterback you bring in, whether it's a veteran, you bring in Kyler Murray, or you bring in Geno Smith, or whatever you do, or you draft a quarterback, or you use Will Howard, let him come up and be a starter, they're going to have a nice receiving core going from the future like that with DK Metcalf and then Jalen Waddle, and then you have the pieces that tied in and stuff as well. So I think it'd be a nice move to make like that. But you guys, let me know down below what you guys think about that. Chris Olave, another person too as well, was on the list, of course, another Saints player. I think he'd be all right, but I feel like I don't know what the asking price would be, but the injury concern is the only thing about Chris Olave. But he would be an explosive player to bring in if you could bring him in. I think the asking price for him might be like 2nd round pick, maybe the 2nd round pick you can get for Chris Olave. bring him in. He's a young, talented playmaker, of course, as well. He'll fit well, I think, in Pittsburgh, of course. I think it'll give him something special. But another guy, too, I think that might be the best get, because I think Jalen Waddle not gonna get traded. But if he does get traded, that'd be great. If the Steelers can find a way to get it done. But I think Jalen Waddle won't get traded. So my next best thing would probably be Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, I think, would be the best thing to get as a receiver. Then a cornerback, you can still always go out there and shop and see if you can find somebody. But Jacoby Myers would be nice. He can play power slide. He's 6'2". He's a bigger receiver, of course, as well. And we've seen, of course, him be receiver 2 many times like that. He played receiver 2 a few times, of course, and been a secondary guy, so he's not afraid to be second guy or step in the first role either. Because last year he started off, I think the past 2 years, he started off behind being behind Devontae Adams, of course, for a little bit, and then Devontae Adams got traded. He stepped into the starting role of being a number 1 option, and he put up some big time numbers, his best numbers of his career. So he's not afraid to kind of mix it up. So you have him with DK Metcalf, that'd be nice little get, and they also bring more size to the receiver room as well, because the Steelers lack a lot of size in the receiving room when they have more physicality there. I think Jacoby Myers would be nice, and I think he'll get paid $9 million a year. I think his asking price, he was trying to ask for improvement of his contract, basically double that. They said like the asking price for his extension was like around 19 to 20 million a year. The Steelers can definitely do that, of course, as well. And I think you have a guy, who's 28 years old. You have him for the next few years and stuff as well, next 3 years like that, see how things go. I think it'll work out pretty well like that in Pittsburgh. It depends on how aggressive Omar Khan is and how aggressive the Steelers are trying to be right now, because you're sitting at 5-3. Your team is had 2-game losing streak at first, brother losing streak by beating the Colts yesterday in a nice matchup. But it depends on how aggressive you're trying to play. You're trying to go out there and try to play at that win now mode, and still trying to keep that window open and that hope open to say, you know what, we can definitely contend this AFC. And look at the AFC. I know we had some mishaps here and there, but look at the AFC. You can definitely contend the AFC. I know the Bills are on top. The Bills did lose to the Patriots that you beat like that. And we know, of course, also you look at the Chiefs, Mahomes, they look out of whack like that. You definitely see about taking them down. And your division, of course, right now you're leading your division by 2 games as well. So it's definitely a possibility you can go out there and make some noise, of course. And the Colts, of course, you just took them down as well like that. And Chargers, you play them this week. We'll see how things go. So the AFC is still, I feel like, where you have a chance to get it. And a lot of people might not be putting you up there, but you still have a chance, of course, to still make a push for it. So you're making one little move to add a receiver, add a cornerback to your roster. I think to bolster your team up, to make sure you secure it in the long term like that for the rest of this season, to try to maximize that opportunity to see if you can make a push, deep playoff push, a potential Super Bowl push. That would be great. So we'll see what the Steelers do, of course. Trade deadline is tomorrow. I think it ends at let me check right now to make sure I get the exact time. Trade deadline, not the NBA, NFL. The NBA one is a little far from now. NFL trade deadline is it's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Well, actually, for me, it'd be 3 p.m. Yeah, it'd be 3. So tomorrow at 3. So I'm hoping the trades happen, before 12-1-ish like that. Happen, don't do it at night. Do the trades when we're awoke. Or awake, I should say, and then when we're awake, like that, so we can do the videos and do the trades when we're at home as well. So do it up in the day like that. So we'll see how things go. But I'm gonna have a video tomorrow for you guys. If any trade happen, then I'm gonna have I'm gonna go live too as well. Do my reaction to any trades that goes on after the aftermath is finished later that day, probably at night or something. So be on the lookout for that. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.